it's nuts in the sense of how everything just moves all the time and there's no stopping for anybody. But then there's this a magnificent drive that comes with that you feel that you're part of something like really special. And that even though there's this crazy momentum, in the end, there's going to be this outcome which everyone can sit back and be like, look what we have done. And we've done this together with blood, sweat, and tears. I would say if I look back on all the work I've done, like I was so proud, but then you always remember what went into that. And it's those late hours. It's those arguments with other creatives. It's those creators are not willing to budge. And you're like, could this have been different? How could the outcome have come out if we'd all just collaborated and we didn't have all our egos? And there's a lot of egos in agency. And, we've got the egos of the people who are sort of so stuck in their creative rut that they're not willing to sort of expand their minds of sort of these new fresh faces who have this whole different opinion. And that's what I really enjoyed, being a little bit older than everybody else in agency, because I had the privilege of communicating and being able to guide these beautiful young minds who had either only been in agency life for a very small period of time or just graduated and were coming in, but super, super talented. And I was able to learn so much from them. And that was also really important for me when I sort of guided for my journey through agency, was making sure that I wasn't going to be one of those older creatives with a big ego that no one could approach or no one could feel that they could share their own creative minds with. I think there is always good and bad to every scenario that you're going to be in, if you're in agency or you're going to be on your own. The good from agency is the budgets that you have, the support structure that you have, and all the different talent that comes together to create one thing. The bad is that we're still dealing with a world that hasn't really changed from their traditional sort of trajectory, that they haven't sort of adapted to the fact that things change. We're living in a world where everything is now digital. It works off algorithms. There's smarter ways of doing things. So you're still stuck in that you will be here at 8 o'clock and you'll probably only leave here 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that's what's expected of you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. And, Steph and I, we've always had these conversations that I wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be the journey that I was going to take. And it was difficult. There was so much pushback. It was like, what do you mean you're not going to sit here until... And pressure, yes, And it was, also that saying where you leave at 5 and it's like half day. You leave at half day. I would be a millionaire if I counted the amount of times people told me that. But it was so important for me not to have that kind of world, because it's not normal. It's not normal for people to be working those amount of hours. Even though there's some projects, it's beautiful. That magic that happens between like 12 and 2 in the morning. But even saying that out loud, isn't that wild that that's just become so normal for us? That it's that's just normal. Like it's expected of you. But so for me, that was the bad. It was of not being able to normalize the fact that we could work sort of normal hours, or that maybe we could find a new and more efficient and effective way of working instead of this old school sort of path with this is how it's done and this is what's expected of you.
Yeah.